What is up? Welcome back to Five Stars, Five Picks. I'm your host, Astaire, joined by the man, Five Star, the man with all the college knowledge and the winning college football picks. Unfortunately, when you're in this game, sometimes we take bad beats. We saw that last weekend as Boise State. I don't know how they didn't cover that game. Five Star, talk to me a little bit about what you saw in that game. And then I got a great question for you to follow that up.
Man, look, greetings to all. What's up, Wagering World? Welcome to all you guys back to Five Stars, 5 points. Man, that was one of the most heartbreaking bad beats I've taken, and I've taken many in my illustrious career of doing this. And it was in a bag. I was literally, I wasn't even really watching it anymore. It kind of like the TV was on, but it's on, but you're not watching. Because what happened, I wanted to watch the last series because Boise had scored. Their coach, he actually was trying to score a touchdown and almost blew the game on the cover because the quarterback took a sack, like 20-yard sack. But I still, since we were riding with him, I salute him for doing that because at least we know he was trying to cover. Some guys would just sit on the ball. And they kicked the field goal. We got the covering bag now because now it's like, I want to say like a 17-point lead, right? 17, 18-point lead. I can't remember the exact number. Wyoming's first possession, the guy gets sacked. They can't hold up against Boise State's D-line. Guy gets sacked 2 straight plays, man, the quarterback. It was like 30 yards, so they're back now at like the 10 or so. Third down, so I'm like planning for the next day, looking at some notes. I look up and I see this kid just breaking through the secondary, man. It was like a nightmare. And I looked at my wife and I was like, did you see that? And she was like, is that one of the games that you got? I was like, they showed a replay. He only threw the guy like a 15, 20-yard stop. It was third and maybe 30 yards. The guy catches the ball. Wyoming's just trying to play the game out. They thinking he's going to get tackled and the game's over. The poorest tackling I've seen, man, since probably like the Cal Stanford game on the replays from that back in the game when they had the band out there.
In 1983, yeah.
Yo, it was ridiculous. Yeah, I didn't see it live, but I remember seeing like highlights of it, and it was ridiculous, man. Like they might as well have the band out there because the kids that they had, I guess they subbed in some like backups or something, like giving them some run because it was the last game of the year or something at home or something. I don't know, man, but it was horrible. Just unbelievable. Bad beat, man. Real bad beat.
Well, that brings me to the first of the 5 points today. I mean, was that the worst one ever? What is your worst bad beat?
It's definitely ranking up there, man. I had one actually was so funny. We had one last month with Clemson and Florida State. I don't know if you remember that one or not. Spread. Florida State dominated the game. Clemson didn't take the lead until the last possession of the game. They score and they go 4 points. Florida State gets the ball, get a great return, even complete a pass on the first down. They're like the 40. So it's like the bag's locked up. We went 3-0 that weekend actually too. And I had one of those just, Hail Mary, I call them grocery list parlays going. And the only leg that was left was this one. And it paid an enormous amount of money, right? So it's pretty much locked. They've been covering the whole game. They've been in the lead the whole game. Clemson takes the lead 4. Florida State has the ball at the 40. Like I said, it's second down. They already ran through a completion. The guys started throwing the ball backwards, that mess. They lateral the ball back until it's a touchdown for Florida State. The Florida State defender jumps in front with no time left, catches the ball. Stadium's going crazy because they're like, everybody, I'm sure, laid the 9 with Clemson, right? But they had lost. They still haven't lost at home in like 30 games. So he catches the ball. Now, mind you, the kid didn't even score. He was short if you see the replay. The refs they get everybody off the field. It's pandemonium. Everybody's on the field. We have to review it. And they come back and give them the touchdown. I said, that was a direct message from Vegas. So that one was one. I remember one a couple of years ago. I don't know if you remember when BYU was pretty good. And they had a kid named Mangum as the quarterback. He was number 12. And they were pretty high-powered that year. Great passing game. San Jose State, they weren't San Jose State's back they're not as good this year as they've been in the last 2 years, but At this time, they were like cellar dwellers. They were terrible, right? I don't think they had the coach that they have now. And I have first half BYU minus 10.5 for a ridiculous amount, right? Surest bet I had all night. It was West Coast game. 14-0 is the score. BYU gets the ball back with about 20 seconds left at their own 10. I like they're gonna take a knee. They're up 2 touchdowns, right? They start throwing the ball. They complete the first pass over the middle, like a 20-yard in route. Call timeout. So it's like 15 seconds left now at like the 35. I'm just like, this isn't good. I don't know why they're doing this. Like they have my bag is secured. Mega throws a pick six on the next play on a hitch route, 15-yard hitch route. Man, the corner's all over. He jumps in. He's running out of sidelines with his finger up, high stepping and stuff. He did like he's Dion. And dude, I made it was just like a primal yell that came from inside of me. I was sitting inside the Win Sportsbook. I remember everyone's looking. Wow. And I was like, man, I had so much money on the first half. So that's definitely one of them. And I don't know if you remember. I think that this bad beat was one of the reasons why maybe even Scott Van Pelt started bad beat.
Yeah.
It was either that one or do you remember when Northwestern played Michigan? Oh, no, pardon me. Northwestern played Ohio State. And that's kind of when Brett was still doing the night games, ABC night games. He first got back to like coming back around doing a little college football. And he was the main guy doing night games at ABC for us for a little while. And man, it was him and Herb Street and Miss Busburger. That's the first time I think the public really learned about the world of sports betting. Northwestern did some crazy fumblerooski trying to throw the ball back and ended up where they once again were in control of the whole game, led most of the game. They lost the cover because of that lateral mess. I hate that play. Coaches, take that out your playbook. Like,
yeah,
look, the professional betting community. We want this. We want to go talk to someone about this, man. We need the lateral pass at the end of the game. No one ever scores off of just something bad happens every time. It's nothing ever good, man. Just run forward and try the best you can because the lateral stuff never works, man. But anyway, Brett Musburger said that night. I remember when Ohio State scored on the lateral he was like, and some people are very by that touchdown. Nobody. That was the first time I think the regular public was kind of introduced to our world where it wasn't about the score on the scoreboard, more the score that's on the inside the book, man. And that's just a couple of them, man.
Yeah, those lateral plays, right? Twice in my whole life they've worked. The 1983 Cal big game that you talked about, and the Music City Miracle, which I believe was in '91. It was the Tennessee Titans, and they were the Titans, right?
I'll never forget that game. You know why I remember that game so well?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Watching that game because I was buying my first car. I was in Houston at a small car, like a little raggedy car dealership, man. I can't remember the guy's name. Yeah, I had a paper bag full of money for the guy, right? And so he's in there doing the paperwork and stuff, and he's counting the monies in a little raggedy bag, all balled up and stuff that I've been saving. And we were watching the game, and we just went crazy, man. Because I was, at the time, I was a big Steve McNair fan because he was a legend at Alcorn State, man, and we used to go to Grambling State University all the time just to watch him play, man. And one time he came to Monroe and played in Louisiana Monroe, and we went and watched the play too, man. I don't know if guys know, but Aaron McNair, man, rest in peace, man. That guy, he was one of the best college football players that ever walked the earth, man. Seriously.
Yeah. In these new offenses, he would have been MVP for sure. The way the game is played now, he was way ahead of his time.
Jeff Fisher's the only thing that ever stopped him.
Yeah, completely agree. And it probably underrated. Imagine him under Andy Reid or Sean McVay in one of these new offenses. Steve McNair definitely one of the great. Yeah. So let's go from some bad news on the bad beats to some good news. And I got to get your thoughts on Mel Tucker becoming the highest paid African-American coach in NCAA history. We're high on Michigan State here, and I think he was duly rewarded. What were your thoughts?
Oh, definitely. I heard some other guys in the bid community that actually saying, "Hey, the guy hasn't stayed. He hasn't proven himself enough." And I'm like, "Are you guys ridiculous?" Like, what Michigan State did was one of the best moves they probably done in their school history.
Mm-hmm.
They know that. Look, man, the vultures were out. They were going to have Mel Tucker was going to be wearing purple and gold as soon as the season was over. Believe that. And they were
Mm-hmm.
going to give him a blank check. They actually saved some money by giving them $9.5 million. And I just really hope one day, Spread, and I know you feel the same way, that one day we don't even have to talk about this. It's just a
Right.
coach being hired. It doesn't even have to be about a man's skin color. But unfortunately, we're in that situation with, it's 130 jobs in the NCAA Division One jobs. It's only 11 black coaches now, especially since they let go of the guy up in Washington that just was fired. Black coaches have a much shorter, leash than their peers. And it's really tough breaking into the college football game. That's why Herm Edwards, I think, really came back to Arizona State to try to, be able to mentor some people and open some doors for some cats. You got the guy up in Stanford, um,
Shaw.
Shaw. Shaw is a great coach. He has the longest tenure. He's been coaching now for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And but besides him, it's always all the other guys are in and out. You know how it goes. They get
Mm-hmm.
2 years, and then after that they're gone. It amazes me because I was lucky, blessed enough to meet Eddie Robinson. Every kid from my area of
Mm-hmm.
town just dreamed of going to his camp. He was just such a great role model. And, he's the all-time winningest coach because, I know that Paterno in 2011 passed him at 409. But as you know, the NCAA they vacated all of his victories from like 98, I want to say, to 2011 due to him turning his back, or excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
kind of turning the head, a blind eye to what was going on inside of his program with Sandusky.
Mm-hmm.
So he's classified as actually having, I want to say, a 294 victory. So the king of the hill still is Eddie Robinson. He was the standard, man. He put 3 players in the Hall of Fame. He produced the first black quarterback in the NFL and the first black quarterback to win the Super Bowl. So with that said, Mel Tucker, it pretty much all comes back around and all together again with Eddie Robinson. I'm sure is smiling down to see that Mel Tucker's name is in lights right now and everyone's giving them. But like I said, one day we hope we don't even have to say this about African American coaches anymore. And I said that about Eddie Robinson just to let guys know that it can be done. Because look, he set the standard. He has the most win. You just have to put these guys in the right situation. And another thing that I think a lot of these African American coaches deal with is they have a much keener eye on them. They can't make some of the moves that some of their peers can make as far as getting things done. As you know, like I know, Spread, these coaches get things done. And by getting things done, they don't run programs like Shaw runs up in Stanford. And that's why they're
Right.
falling right now and having a lot of problems. And another thing about Shaw runs a straight up and down program, man. But he's suffering right now because of what happened with the pandemic. I'm hoping that he gets his squad back on track because he's a smart guy. He learned that he didn't have to do the side money, the little, little games. What he does is he just pretty much sells the kids on, hey, man, you want to make a difference in the world and do something great, you come to Stanford because of the type of education that you can get. And thank God, it's a lot of parents who still care about that. And with the pandemic, he was unable to get across the country to kids who would be Stanford ready. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully now he'll get his program back up and running. But man, I just hope we see more African American coaches. Shout out to Mel Tucker, man. Like you said, we really respect his work here, man, and what he's done. I'm still wondering why the committee has Michigan in front of him, but he has a big game coming up this week. So we're gonna see. I think he has a surprise for people too, man. He got a big game coming up in Ohio State. We're not betting it, but we're gonna really enjoy watching him, man. It might be Kenneth Walker III's chance to do what we said the Heisman. We called him at a
Yeah.
great number, right, Spread? We got him
That's
at a
right.
number for everybody. So, we'll be rooting for that kid and we're rooting for Coach Tucker, man. Good job.
Right. And yeah, congratulations to Mel Tucker, and definitely well deserved every penny for the great leadership he's providing at Michigan State. Let's jump into the games. Let's give them the picks. The first one we want to talk about, we're going to start with the Pac-10. Arizona is plus 15 up at Washington State, taking on the Cougars in Pullman. Who is your pick for this game?
Oh man, this is a game tonight. We got Arizona. They're 1-9. They're rolling into Pullman. Or Washington State's 5-4. Uh, in reality, there's not much to separate these teams, even though by their records, it seems like it's a major gulf between the two. In all actuality, they're analytically the same teams. It's no big difference in any stat. Arizona, in our world, is actually the hotter team. They're 4-0 against the spread in their last four. They're 4-0 against the spread in the conference. Washington State, they're a good team. They're more than capable on offense, solid defense. The thing with Washington State is they have the game of their year coming up and the game of their life for most of those kids who are from Washington that went to Washington State next week because they play the Apple Cup. They play Washington. And as you know, that's a West Coast, Northwest thing that's like their Super Bowl. I'm sure with Arizona having that 1-9 record, Washington State won't be fully focused on this game. All the coaches right now at this time of year just trying to get out of games healthy. As I said, Arizona's been in the fourth quarter with chances to win against Washington, against SC. They've been playing ball, man. They've been playing real good football ever since they got blew out in Colorado. They haven't been blown out since. They've been in all of their games. Jed Fish is their coach. I really like what he's doing over there. He has those guys organized. He's a Bill Belichick disciple. He was the quarterback coach in New England for a long time. So Fish knows what he's doing. And as Belichick does, you can see the team is getting better and more solid as the season goes, as they're buying in. So we're definitely going to roll tonight with Arizona plus 15, man. Look for them to continue their winning ways in the gambling community by covering.
Yeah, and as we know, that's a great point about the look-ahead spot, right? Because when
Yes.
you're having a mediocre season, what's the one thing that saves you in the eyes of the alumni and the boosters? And that's being able to win that rivalry game. So
Great point.
potential look-ahead spot for Washington State, and where we'll be on Arizona plus 15. Let's take it out to the Midwest. Kansas State is a pick'em against Baylor. How do you see this game playing out?
Well, Baylor rolls into Manhattan. They're flying high, man. They just upset Oklahoma, biggest win in Waco in years. They're looking for compete for the Big 12 championship. The Wildcats are really hot. They've been playing real good ball lately. Their senior quarterback Skylar Thompson, he's throwing for 71% of his passes, completing 71% of his passes. Excuse me. They have a dynamite running back, Deuce Vaughn. He's a second coming of Darren Sproles down there. You know how they love those little small electric, do everything, versatile running backs out there in Manhattan, Kansas, man. And the legacy of Bill Snyder continues, man. Their Coach Kleiman, is continuing that with it's all about football and faith out in Manhattan, man. This game right here is begging you by the line to take Baylor. When you look at it, the first thing you're going to say, Baylor. I got to go with Baylor. Well, it's senior day in Manhattan, Kansas, and the books are sharp right now. Kansas State is going to win this game. They're going to win it by playing solid defense, and they're going to get a timely turnover or a special teams play. Once again, it's senior day. This is one of those type of programs that senior day means a lot to this team. Like I said, Baylor's coming off getting their backs padded all week. They've been partying. They've been getting told they're the best, man. They will not be ready for this game, and this line shows it. This is November. I told you guys, after Halloween, it gets tricky. The books, they know what they're doing. They're real sharp. They want you to take Baylor. We're going to ride against the public right here and go with Kansas State.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people think that the books want to get 50-50 money on every line. No, these guys are fine having some liability in certain ways. I mean, these bookmakers are capping the games themselves as well as putting up the lines. So don't always think they're trying to get 50-50 money. A lot of times they do have a side, or they do not mind having liability on a certain side. This could be the case here when we're looking at this number. Kansas State is the pick at a pick'em. Let's talk about a rivalry game, right? I mentioned it earlier, and here it is in action. Down in Los Angeles is UCLA takes on USC, a storied rivalry that's kind of lost a lot of its luster over the last 10 years. Maybe those guys can get someone in there to turn things around. I know the USC job will be coveted if it becomes available. How are you seeing this game play out?
Well, this is a 90-year crosstown rivalry, man. Like you said, it isn't what it used to be, but it's still the biggest game in California. It's the battle for LA. UCLA is clearly the better team right here. I think the only reason the book is even making it such a short number, I'm seeing this at -3.5 places now. I think the only reason it's such a short number is because USC's recent dominance. They've won, I want to say 10 out the last 14 against UCLA, and they won the last two games. USC is a program that's in going through it right now, man. You just say it like that. It's they have alumni and boosters who are not trying to hear it. It's a very powerful group, a lot of money. They're upset. They're not supporting the program right now. Uh, their interim coach, he's a young guy, used to be a defensive back coach before they elevated him. He's facing off against Chip Kelly, man. Chip Kelly has lost the last two times that they play at USC. They have the superior team this time. This is his time to make a statement. This is time to put a stamp on the city that this is, UCLA town. Um, we all know the Bruins are coming to play this week. I'm sure USC will be coming to play this week too. Man, they have a injury list as long as the Constitution right now. They got Keaton Slovis, the quarterback. He was a star before the season started, man. He was looked to be one of the top quarterbacks coming out. His whole season's just been underachieving. He can't stay on the field. He's unhappy when he is, man. It's just turmoil there, man. The kid can't get settled. If he plays again next year, I know he's going to transfer, and hopefully he'll go to a good program for respect the type of talent that he has, because he's a talented kid. They'll be starting instead Jackson Dart. The kid's electric, but he kind of forces some things, man. He's a young kid. He's a playmaker. Reminds me a lot of like the BYU quarterback, Zach Wilson. The difference is that right now USC doesn't have the coaching staff in order to help him, man. It's just a bunch of youth and a bunch of people who've never been in these type of situations that's leading the team right now. Because their offensive coordinator is Graham Harrell. He's a kid too. So I mean, it's just like I don't see them being able to match up with what Chip Kelly's going to bring. You got a DTR, Dorian Thompson Robinson, the Vegas native, who's the quarterback for UCLA. I don't think he's ever beaten USC as a starter. I don't know. I can't remember if he was the starter or even if he was healthy 3 years ago when Chip Kelly upset USC when USC was a big favorite. But I know the last 2 years he hasn't fared well against SC. This is the Bruins' time to get off, and I expect them to do just that. It's going to be another high-scoring affair, but it's going to definitely go UCLA way. I definitely want to go with UCLA as the 5-star pick of the week, -3, -3.5. You can lay it. I think they'll win by at least a touchdown. So we're going to ride with the Bruins, but most of all, we're riding with the brain of Chip Kelly and having his team ready and being able to have a better strategy for this game than the young coach that he's going to be facing.
Well, there you have it, folks. The 5-star pick of the week, UCLA -3. If you have -3.5 at your book, you are still okay to take it there. Let's review the picks. Arizona +15 against Washington State. Kansas State is a pick 'em over Baylor. We like Kansas State. And of course, UCLA -3 in the crosstown rivalry. 5-star, great picks today and a lot of fun, reminiscing down memory lane with the bad beats. So great show today. Anything else for the people before we sign off?
Hey, guys, we appreciate you guys coming in. Hey, please feel free to comment at the bottom of the page. Hey, use the likes. Look, guys, if you're coming and you're watching the show or you're watching and following Spread and I on Twitter, say something. Give us some likes, man. Don't just take the picks that we give you guys and go make plays and win. And we don't want anything from you. I have paying subscribers, who they'll give me whatever because they're happy with what I do. I've been dealing with my group for a long time. So it's not about the pay. What it's about is just, hey, give us a little bit of acknowledgement because you help us keep this show going by giving us comments and giving us likes, guys. So, if you're tuning in and you're using some of the bets, we wish you the best of luck. Let's keep winning. We've been on a nice streak. I've been posting plays on Twitter. We won 4 straight, right, Spread? Right?
That's right. We're on a roll. Let's keep it going this weekend.
Let's keep it going, guys. And please tune in to me every Thursday. We got settled in on Thursday on the bench. That'll be 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And, of course, me and Spread will be here every Friday with you guys for 5 stars, 5 points. We look forward to it. If you catch UCLA at the 3 and the hook, you probably can buy the hook for 10 cents or so. So it'll be -3, -120. If you feel more comfortable with that, 3 is a key number. But as I told you before, I expect UCLA to roll them. Best of luck to all. As I said again, thank you, Wagering World.
All right. Remember, follow at 5-star in Vegas. Spell it out. FIVE 5-star in Vegas. Follow the man for the college football information. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. This is not a secret. Let's grow it. Let's get a real active community here as we are capping and winning watching this college football. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will be back next week.